In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why you find it so hard to find qualified buyers and how to fix it in 3 easy steps. And no, it's not gonna be about some secret IG setting that you can turn on or just post more advice. And don't worry, I'm also not gonna tell you that the reason why no one is buying from you is because you are not talking about your childhood trauma online. But instead, I'm going to give you the actual copy and paste things that you can use today to start selling more of your coaching, communities, or courses online. Because see, after generating more than 1.1 million for my clients in 2025 alone, I came to the conclusion that it all comes down to this one thing. See, this is the rule created, I believe, by Google, and it is nothing fancy. All it says is that on average, a person needs to consume at least 7 hours of your content across 11 touchpoints on 4 platforms to buy something from you. And I would argue that for info products such as community courses, coaching, it is even more than that because originally this rule was based on e-com products. And as we all know right now, we are in a trust recession right now. And that actually leads us to the first thing. So let's do some simple math here. That means that if a short form video is on average 30 seconds long, someone needs to consume 840 IG Reels to open their wallet. So even if you are posting every single day, it will take you more than 2 hours to see any cash in your pocket. So how do we actually shorten this gap to, instead of 2 years, maybe have 2 months, or even better, 2 weeks? Well, right now you are probably trying to do something like this. You post a reel, you do a call to action, someone comments or DMs you a specific word, and you try to instantly get them to buy. And that of course leaves you with dry convo, you hating your life, and 0 cash. So instead, it should look something like this. I'm gonna talk in more detail a little later, in a sense just a low barrier to entry method of getting people into your ecosystem. It's kind of like you going to Costco or Whole Foods and they just give you the food sample, and then after you taste it, then you can go further with the whole sales process. And it's the same right here. Your IG Reels shouldn't be the part where you make the sale because it will almost never work. Instead, they should invite people to get the food sample, such as YouTube video, a free resource, or a landing page with a free training. Okay, but how do you actually make a content for this? And second, make a call to action that will be compelling for people? Well, let's break it down in the second step. Now, most people struggle with building any kind of audience of buyers because they constantly ask. Every single video will be just a different pitch with a straight up hard call to action at the end. So no wonder that all the buyers in the market will just skip this content and not even come near it. Because instead of speaking to them, to their problems and solutions, you are just constantly trying to sell them. And you know, Gary Vee has this nice jab, right hook analogy for that. And it's actually the same reason why people like Alex Hormozi can pull a 100 million plus book launch. So jab is when you are providing all the value, all the sauce without asking. That's the key. Without asking about anything. You are just being that good friend who does something nice and doesn't need anything in return. And right hook is when after all of those minutes or even hours of spending time with them, you finally make an ask. In Hormozi's situation, right, this guy was providing S-level free business education for literally years without asking about anything, right? And think about how many free courses, cheap books, and everything else he just gave you for nothing or almost nothing. So when after all of those years, he just made one simple ask, please come to my virtual event, you of course did that. And because of this jab, right hook method, this is how he managed to pull those millions. It's all about those positive loops over and over again. And just think for a second about the content that you consume. You are not consuming it because someone is trying to pitch you something every single second, but because it is valuable and it makes your life better after watching it than before. The whole reason why you are watching this video still is that you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, you thought, okay, yeah, that kind of is my situation right now. Let me check this. And after a couple of seconds, you thought, yeah, it kind of makes sense. So let me just keep watching and watching, and you are here right now. And that actually leads us to step number 3. Okay, so you know right now that the issue lies with people not trusting you enough to make any forward decisions. And you know that the biggest reason for that is that you ask too often. So you're probably thinking right now, how do I reverse that, right? How do I create a content ecosystem that will build trust, that will create authority and need in people to take the next steps? And as we discussed earlier, the crucial ingredient in the whole equation is time. How do we create a sequence of events that will make people consume the right content? And I'm going to explain in a second what that means in the tiniest time frame possible. It's kind of like if you imagine a plane taking off. And yes, this is the great drawing of a plane. We can think about the same analogy of getting people nurtured. We need to create a runway long enough for them to have the smooth road for buying your product. And I mentioned the right content. What it actually means is that if you think about it, there is few content pieces that are crucial for people to watch before they hop on a call with you. Just ask yourself, what is the most important thing people need to consume before hopping on a call? Well, certainly VSL, probably some client interviews. A client case study would be even nicer. And if we can incorporate all of those things, this is where we can shift their beliefs and their perception of, yeah, I need to make this decision. And those videos will be much more powerful than just some vague top of the funnel video. Okay, so that means that the closer to the purchasing decision they are, the more precise the content choices need to be. And that's what all of those people mean when they say the word funnel, right? That's how you create a true content funnel, where someone starts with a top of the funnel video that just creates curiosity for them to get the information. And if you do that correctly, they will want to know the implementation of what you are selling, and not something vague, but how precisely that will look for them. And when that happens, they will go lower. And that's where you can funnel them into this rabbit hole of a targeted, intentional content that will get their trust and slowly but surely turn them into your ideal ready-to-buy prospects. And that's how ultimately you can squeeze that time from 2 years to 2 weeks. That's all for today. And if you enjoyed this video, then you will definitely enjoy this one. It's a full breakdown of how we created a content ecosystem for our client that generated him $208,000 in just 90 days. So give it a try, and thanks for watching this, and I will see you in the next one.